Welcome to Willow Talk. Adam Peacock here, special edition. Very special because producer Sam's in the studio and that means something's up.
I'm here.
Sammy Ferris, how are you?
I'm really good. Don't worry, Hads is back later this week.
Is
But
he?
yeah, but you're not.
No, I'm going to disappear
you're
into thin air.
You guys, ships in the night, you two.
Yeah, because he's coming back. I refuse to work with him. No, it's just timing. It's just timing.
Yeah.
But more importantly,
Yeah.
in the room, we've got Aussie all-rounder Cameron Green with us. How are you, mate?
Very good. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in and filling that third chair of the Australian women's captain. So, well done.
Yeah, it's big seat to fill, but hopefully I can do it justice.
Is he captaincy material? No.
No.
Let's start off easy. Yeah. Are you going to be captain? No, we won't do that. We won't do that. Today we're going to have a good chat with Cam about cricket, Test Summer, IPL. We'll answer some questions from the Secret Cricket Club. Don't worry, it's not as bad as it sounds. All
I was
right?
going to ask, what is that? Yeah, well, it's obviously secret. I haven't heard of it.
That's
so.
right.
Well, about a month ago, I came in, it was on the rundown, and I had to ask the exact same thing. I had no idea what was going on. It was so secret.
It's too
Sam,
secret.
Yeah, Sam
Yeah.
didn't even tell me about it.
Yeah, well,
It's like Fight Club. Can't
need
can't
to
talk
know
about it.
basis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Dozens of questions came in, by the way. They're from our listeners. So, the Secret Cricket Club members, thank you for those questions. Join up now on the Willow Talk Instagram page so you can get involved with the show. We're actually going to start with a listener question. And this came through a few times when it was announced that you were coming on the show, Cam. And it's actually inspired a new segment, which we'll get to in a moment. But Tom from the Secret Cricket Club asks, what's the weather like up there? Highly original stuff there from
Oh,
Tom.
God, we're starting there, are we? Yeah, exactly the same,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
When did you first hear that question?
Yeah, I think probably a year 11 and 12, I had my growth spurt.
That's
So,
when you went,
yeah, so I kind of put all my skill set down to being this, pretty average heighted guy. I'm not just a big basher through junior cricket. I actually had to have some skills. So I think, I'll put some of my cricket skill down to, actually having to graft a bit instead of just a basher.
fair enough. Fair enough. Well, Sammy, you're not exactly devoid in the area of height either.
But skill and talent, yes. I must have been tall the whole way through.
Well, I feel like I should be booking rides for myself at Flemington next to you two in this room today because you both hit 2 metres. What are you, 2 metres?
Officially,
hit two?
I always thought I was 199 and a half, and I've officially got the 2 metre call. So
What are
I'll
you,
take it.
Sammy?
I'm officially 198 and a half.
Yep. I'm officially not that.
Every centimetre counts.
Well, allegedly, Sam. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Well, it's led into this new segment that we've got. Well, it's the first and probably only time we're going to do it. It's called Do You Play Basketball? So we're fortunate to have the two people here, 2 metres. The average height of the Australian man, by the way, is 175.6 centimetres.
Yep.
Noticeable.
Happy to say I've just tipped
Yeah,
over that
you're
one,
about the
thankfully.
average.
Although the spine is now compressing, so I think I'll be under average in a few years' time. But anyway, a lot of people actually wouldn't know about the challenges in everyday life. Look at you two.
Yeah.
You're nodding
Yeah,
at each
Yeah,
other.
no,
I
it's
think
like
we
a
just got the
brotherhood
unspoken bond.
Yeah, here we go. Little handshake
Cam
in the
knows.
middle. So let's go through a few of them and how you deal with them. So getting clothes that fit. I wouldn't appreciate this
No.
as a problem.
I
in
think,
life.
I think you have to go for a pretty simple lifestyle because, all the clothes that are our size 2X or 3X are pretty plain. So,
Yeah. And they're also, because they're so
Wide.
big, they're so
Yeah.
large. So if you're tall and thin or athletic, like
Yeah.
I am, and tall and thin like Cam is, you've got a lot of midriff there. So it's
I think luckily it's in at the moment. Everyone likes a bit of a baggy shirt or
Yeah.
a baggy jumper. So,
Yeah.
thankfully it's in at the moment.
and pants too. Like if you can get a pair of jeans that fit you with the same waist ratio, buy
Keep
100
them for
pairs.
life.
Yeah.
The skinny jeans era. So you guys struggled in that?
I think it was just pre my era. I think
Okay.
I was just in the end of it. So
Yeah.
thankfully
I
it's
couldn't pull it off anyway.
Fair
I
enough.
wasn't daring enough to do it.
Here's one for you. Now that you've got to the stage in cricket where sometimes it's not so much of a problem given the CBA and where you're allowed to sit on a plane, airplane travel.
Yeah, well, you go back to WA and you, get put in the middle seat of
Ooh.
out the back, and it's tough trying to do your crossroads.
He's all
with
right now though.
He's all right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his talent's got him there.
And they get the exit
It's not a
rows.
fluke.
Yeah, you do get looked after, and if there's some young Cooper Connolly in the aisle seat, you go, come mate.
Off you go. Oh, so state cricket, you're still back in licking
Yep,
kneecaps at the back.
So
there.
if you play futures cricket or state cricket, futures is tough because you got the flight the day before, and then you got to wake up at like 5 a.m. Perth time and try and hit a ball at 7 a.m. Perth time. You're pretty tired, so there's a few excuses that can come out.
The key is, if you're not an international cricketer, if you can go up to the checkout and they see you and they go, "Oh, right, you're obviously a man of great height. We'll try and get you an exit row or next to a vacant seat or something like that."
Okay.
Yeah. If
So
you do it online, it's very difficult.
Airlines aren't heightist. Is that what you're saying? That's good.
No,
Very
not all the
kind.
time. Yeah,
Not all the
they
time.
look after us.
What about hugging? Be awkward, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think you get very used to the crouch down. You're
and
not
it's like
going straight.
Yeah, it's like the grandpa hug. You're over the top.
I'm glad we got someone here. We can
You
both,
know what I'm
we
talking
both
about.
know.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
doing. Well, he's written those questions. He's
Perfect.
written these. I didn't come
Personal
up with these. I'd have
These are
absolutely
personal
no
experience.
clue.
Yeah.
Walking through doorways.
Yeah, I'm
Nightmare.
just
Problem?
lucky enough to go to Europe recently, and they are small. Well, especially like all the buildings and stuff are built,
Yeah.
200 years ago.
Yeah.
We've evolved, have we? Haven't we?
Yeah, we must.
Some
have.
of us.
Some of us.
But yeah, I mean, it's dangerous. I actually catch myself now. I just automatically duck through, even if it's a high archway. I'm still doing it.
Yeah, it's always in the You always kind of know.
Now, here's one that springs to mind, especially for you, Cam. In 4 years' time, LA Olympic Games, we know about the bed
beds.
situation in the village. Beds must be an issue too.
Yeah, well, obviously, like the basketballers are there from America, and I'm sure I've probably heard they're like, nah,
They're in 5-star
hotel.
hotels, mate.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it'd be so cool, and we're obviously so excited to get over there and
on
just experience it on a long bed.
on a cardboard bed.
Cardboard.
We'll put two together.
But bedding must be an issue.
Yeah, we get 2 beds. Put them end on end.
End on
Yeah.
end.
Well, I think you get pretty used to the tuck,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
just the
get
crouch.
Yeah, you're curled up.
Curl
What
up.
about when you go to the movies or go to a concert
Mm.
or somewhere, a theatre? I don't know if you're a theatre goer, musical theatre or whatever. You sit down. Do you automatically think of the person behind you and go, "Oh, I've just possibly ruined their night"?
Nah.
No.
Oh, no.
I just go, it is what it is. I've got to put up with being in an uncomfortable position for 2 hours. You can put up with not seeing.
That's a great point. I get
Yeah.
it double ways because not only height, but these ears are like 2 car doors open. So I'm not getting the person behind me, but the
Yeah.
people either side of them. So I try to go to the back.
Have you ever gone, if you're saying at a social venue, a pub or someone's house and there's music playing, it's hard of hearing, if you've gone and got them a chair to stand on so you can get face to face?
I think Josh Hazelwood probably the best at it at a bar. He's pretty happy just leaning against the bar, and I think he's kind of worked at that's to help with a bit of height.
Okay.
Get over to hear and talk.
To get the conversation
You
happening.
can't hear.
You can't?
You can't. Not at a party. You
I
can't
thought I
hear.
thought I was deaf.
Yeah, dead set.
Now, Cam, you haven't got this yet, kids, but Sammy has kids over here. How do you go at hide and seek, Sam?
Mate, if there's curtains around, I'm all right. But otherwise, under a table, no chance. Behind a couch.
I was saying a long couch.
Yeah,
maybe.
a long
Yeah.
couch. But, being tall, you often have quite big feet. I'm 14. What would you be?
Yeah, 14.
Yeah, so, like, even if there are curtains,
Yeah, they're sticking
you've
out.
got the canoe sticking out.
Yeah, not the game of choice. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, that was the segment, first and only time. Do you play basketball? Cameron Green, thank you for explaining a bit more about what it's like to be bloody tall. Now to the cricket, which we essentially got you in here for, so which is probably fair enough because the last
It's called Willow Talks. I hope so.
last 12 months, sum it up.
Yeah, another hectic year. A few great moments again, and a few that you wish went better. I think it's always, very similar every year, and I'm sure it'll be the same this year.
Mm. Yeah, so Ashes into one-day World Cup, into a home summer, breakthrough Test series in New Zealand, bit of IPL, bit of T20 World Cup, and breathe. Were you cooked at the end of it?
Yeah, I think we've had a few pretty big years, and I think the year before we had India Tests into IPL, straight into World Test Champs, straight into Ashes, so they're like straight into World Cup.
Yeah.
So that's a ridiculous year, and I think it's pretty bad again. But at the same time, you're so happy to play for Australia, and all these big comps are another great opportunity to do well.
That's the thing about the calendar, isn't it, Sammy? Every time you look at it, there's something new sprinkled on, something little, but it just fills it up even more.
You just got to try and squeeze it all in. And then if it's not another bilateral series, it's a T20 tournament or a T10 tournament. And they're becoming so lucrative and attractive. It's hard to say no to them all, I'd imagine. But the last 12 months in particular, I'm not sure I quite remember it being so jam-packed with all the ICC events and just the home summers. It's just full on trying to feed all the different countries, and you get the reciprocal rights with them. Makes it very tricky.
Yeah, we're not too sure who comes up with all these, if they played cricket or travel before, but
yeah,
it does get very tough. But the coaching staff do their best to maybe give you a rest here or there. But it's pretty hectic.
Yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity because, I mean, you don't have to miss out on much because you can choose your own path. So the base level stuff for you, you've made this clear, is Australian representation. And then on top of that, you can go IPL. If you wanted to, you could go and play T20s everywhere, couldn't you? I mean, I don't know what the offers are like coming through your manager, but is it a selection 12 months ahead? Is that how you plan your calendar,
I'd say the next 18 months is kind of how you look at it. There's so many certain tournaments you can do before you do burn out. So I think it's, trying your best to look for, but at the same time, you don't know how you're going to feel when you're in that moment. So, you might be completely fine at one tournament and throw an extra one on top of it, but then, you're gonna feel it down the track after. So,
you're a homebody in the sense that sometimes you're on the other side of the world. You're thinking, I wouldn't mind going down to Cottesloe for a coffee.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Yeah, you do get a lot used to being away. I think it's been good. It's been a gradual increase in how much time away from home. I think, when you're 18, you got like a 1 week Shield trip, and then it's chucked into. I think we had a COVID bubble in Adelaide a few years ago before I started playing international cricket, so that was 6 weeks. So you get slowly used to being away, and then you're missing home, and then you just get better and better. And now it becomes 6 month periods where you're not at home, you're away, you're home for a day over 6 months. So you get very used to being away from home, and then it flips. It gets weird being home. So
How do you go with your suitcase? Are you the kind of guy that gets in the hotel room, unpacks everything, or do you live out of your suitcase?
Live in it for sure. I think it's a bit ruthless. I think, you play I think this next trip to England's a bit like that. We play, travel, play for 5 games. If you're there taking your kit out, it's going to be very tough to put it all back in.
Yeah, floor drobe. The greatest thing of all time. It's there. It doesn't need to be neat. It's there. Let's talk about, arguably, I don't know, it's probably our highlight of you in that time. I don't know if it's yours, but you can speak of it yourself because it was you. 174 not out against New Zealand in Wellington. Is it clear what happened that day on reflection?
Yeah.
Or those days, I should say.
Yeah. Super proud of it. It's obviously the last Test series that's happened, so I've had 9 months to live in it.
YouTube highlights. Yeah.
Oh, certainly. Yeah. There's definitely some days where I'm like, I wouldn't mind just watching this. Yeah. No, it's obviously fun memories, and that's why you play cricket, to just create those.
116 for the last wicket with Josh Hazlewood. Is there out there, like in the middle, did it get to the point where, because he contributed a fair bit to that actual partnership, it wasn't like he put on 2 of it.
Yeah.
Was he at one point giving you advice about how to play things? Or
That's the thing. That's how I've spoken about it. He's such a, he's been around for so long, such an experienced head that, I came out, like, obviously he was on 90, I think, when I came out to bat, and he was teaching me how to bat, like giving me tips. And I was like, it's fair enough. Yeah. Like, literally, like, come on, mate, keep working hard. Like, I'm like, I thought I should be telling him.
Yeah. But you got those 10 runs before he faced the ball.
Yes.
I think you were 100 and he was none off none.
Yeah. So, it's the next day. He's like, come, mate, keep working hard, start again. Like, I should be doing that.
Yeah.
But, he was awesome to bat with. And, so thankful for him.
A recent guest on the podcast was Trent Copeland, who spoke of when he made his debut for New South Wales. He had that feeling of imposter syndrome. And it gradually went away, but it was like feeling comfortable in your environment that you're in. Now, in that Test team, obviously, modern day, it's not like the old days of, who's his rookie? It's like everyone, inclusive, really good leadership and all that. But still, was there part of you that until this big ton playing as number 4, that was like, that was validation for where you are?
For sure. I think just still now, you just like, pinch yourself. You're playing for the Australian team. You're like, I shouldn't be a part of this, but you're obviously very proud of what you've done and what you've got yourself there. But 100%. I think I was 21 when I first debuted. I think the next youngest was Marnus at 27. So there's no gradual increase with guys your age, like kind of like Starkey, Josh Hazlewood, Pat Cummins. They all kind of grew up together. Mitch Marsh, all started really young and grew up together. And also I was the only one from WA, so I was really just by myself, really. Early doors, it was COVID, so no family, couldn't see family or friends. So yeah, it was a couple of tough years there, but that's the beauty of the team that we're in at the moment. They're such a family. They definitely take me under the wing. I think especially, I wouldn't even say especially, I think the bowlers and batters have both been equally as awesome, and got so much to thank for them.
Who gave you your bag of green? I was there, I can't remember.
Paddy.
Yeah, right.
It's a good one before he was captain. So
nice. No one else was allowed was that in the bubble situation, so they couldn't.
Oh, now you're really putting I'm almost guarantee it was Paddy. I didn't want to get that wrong yet. It was Paddy and smudged in my ODI one.
Right, yeah.
Oh, that's a good two.
You mix them up,
Yeah.
No, but it's not like they could get a legend out of the commentary box because they weren't allowed to come near you. That's weird, isn't it?
And JL did my WA one as coach, so he could have done the double.
What was that speech like? That would have been inspiring. That would have been like, wouldn't have been. There you go, mate.
No. He's one of the great speakers. So
what did he do?
But I was
you up.
I was 17. That was imposter syndrome. What am I doing here? JL's literally told me 5 minutes before the game, which I'm thankful for. I would have had a horrible sleep, but yeah, I rocked up that day thinking I was going to be 14th man, and then I'm there playing, and I didn't really want to shake his hand. I was like, I don't deserve this. But yeah, awesome speech.
That was down in Tassie, wasn't it? Because we've had Adam Voges on here talk about that, and he faced you in the nets, and he goes to JL, you have to pick this guy. Maybe why it was such a late selection, but there you go, Voges. You take 5 wickets on debut, and now you're one of our best batters. All makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I've got
exactly.
Yeah, I got a lot to thank for V. I think, obviously being my first captain, then he was a big part of my kind of rise as a batter for WA, and he started coaching. So yeah, very fond of V.
Do they, like those coaches, the people that you had along the way with WA, because it's painfully obvious to everyone in Australian cricket that they're getting things right over there with development. Is it a nurturing, let him develop at his own pace, let's guide him way, or do they hit you with some brutal home truth sometimes between the eyes and don't sidestep around the truth?
Yeah, I think everyone kind of knows what JL's like, and I think what I absolutely loved about being a 17-year-old was just how professional he made it. He was like, nah, you're like being ultra fit, ultra honest. Your skills have to be at a super high level, and I think that's exactly what you need as a youngster. And then you get Andrew McDonald, super chill, and you're just like, oh, but at least you got all of these great professional things behind you and great habits in a way. Yeah. So I got a lot to thank for how you shaped my career.
How everything changed around. David Warner steps out. Who's going to be the opener? Steve Smith. Oh, we're doing this because we want Cameron Green to play 4. How did that whole thing come about? Because it was obviously it was a talking point, big talking point throughout the summer in the media. But from your point of view, how was it communicated that this is what you want to do and this is how you're going to prepare for it?
Yeah, it wasn't like a big thing where I had to thank anybody or it just felt really natural. I think, I did a lot of prep. Obviously, we were versing the Pakistan before.
Mm-hmm.
And had an inkling that the only way into the team was opening. So doing a bit of work then I was like, okay, of course I'm going to put my hand up here. But it's not obviously as natural as what 4 or down the order what I'd done at the time was. But then, it was just sitting at home, got a call from George Bailey saying, Smudge is moving up the order. I heard a little inkling from my manager, and we both share the same manager, that he was thinking about doing it.
Was this after Pakistan or before the whole summer started?
Yeah, no, after Pakistan. So, reasonably late. But, I'm obviously so thankful for Smudge for what he did. I think there's only one cricketer in world cricket that would have done that, and I think the only one who's looking for a new challenge at 30, 34, 35. He just wants to get out there and bat. So he's like, no, I'm not waiting for anyone to get out. I just want to get out there. So
sounds to me like Warren has gone, how can I get both my guys in the test? Steve, why don't you go up and open and we'll get Cam at number 4.
Warren, the manager.
Yeah. Great man. Can you tell the listener what the big difference between opener and number 4 is? Because, theoretically you could be out there in the first over and you're going to face the new ball and the challenges are the same. What are the major differences and the challenges between opening 4 and then you've come in at 6 so many times as well?
Yeah, I think it's just a obviously the consistency of opening always with the new ball where, sometimes you have to go out there and face the new ball. So, there's certain days where you just have to work really hard and knuckle down, but as an opener, you have to do it every time. So that's probably the main difference.
Interesting. Did you have to change anything about your technique from going from where you were to?
No, it felt supernatural. So I was way more excited than nervous about batting number 4. It just feels very natural to me. I think obviously most of the guys in the Australian cricket team, they would have done their careers either opening or batting 3. So very natural batting there.
I think that's why Had's never opened. You've got to knuckle down from ball 1.
Didn't know the meaning of the word leave. Well, we play this game. We try to play this game. It's still doing our head in. What is it? Play it or leave it.
Yeah.
And he can't get his head around the fact that he has to say leave it.
Yeah.
Like he's that ingrained in his brain that he has to somehow nudge at it. So,
or swipe at it.
Or dance down the wicket to it. Or, anyway. Hey, what about this? You talk about, people looking at you as the youngest in the Australian Test team, so you've got the biggest future, simply down to what's on your birth certificate, basically. But how's this quote from Nathan Lyon after the first Test in New Zealand earlier this year? I don't want to put any pressure on him, but I feel like he could potentially go down as one of the greats of Australian cricket.
Gazza.
I think that's Gaz to a T. I think it says that about everybody. So, I think it's him trying to push things off him. So I think, he's obviously a great of Australian cricket, and he's got a chance to pass Glenn McGrath pretty soon. So he's trying to just handball that onto someone else.
Yeah, I don't want to put any pressure on him, but there's a comet about to hit Earth, and he's the only man who can stop it.
How do you go with expectation, though? Like, there's been so much since you've made your debut for Australia, even before then. How do you handle that pressure internally and I guess externally?
Yeah, I've probably mentioned this a few times. I think your internal pressure is always way worse than external. So, if anyone says something obviously very kind like what Nath did, I think, you've already thought about it before, or there's certain things like that. So when you hear something that's obviously so kind, but you've certainly had that thought 1,000 times. So whether that's a very good, something's really good happened, or something's poor happened, and you need to up your performance, you know yourself first. So they're obviously very kind comments, but at the same time you've got to go out and perform. So they don't mean much, to be fair.
Coach, present coach, batting staff, bowling staff as well with the team, teammates. Yeah, you listen to them a fair bit. Anyone outside that sphere that you cop advice from, and you're happy to on the phone conversation talk it out with them, i.e., someone back in Perth or parents or I don't know, family. Yeah,
I think that's probably the key. I think it's keeping your circle as small as possible, and definitely going back to the good times when you had success. Who are you talking to then? What helped you get there? So I've got a reasonably small group of people that I'd really listen to. That's my dad for sure. Less so now than what it was back in the day.
Has he got a go-to? All dads have something that they lean on and go, I'll hit him with this one because he's never heard it before. But
he's got about 50 go-tos.
50 go-tos. Yeah.
And now I just go, right. Just keep him happy. I've got probably Bo Casson is probably one of the closest ones I've got. He's someone who sees me very rarely, so he can really see the big differences. So, but obviously Michael Divinado as well.
Talking a lot about batting with Cam, but Sam, you got some all-rounder stats, I do believe.
Yeah,
your fingertips over there.
Yeah, I've done a bit of research here. The research team at Willow Talk's done a great job of just breaking down where Cam ranks amongst sort of modern Aussie all-rounders, and because of the expectation that's been placed on him by Nathan Lyon, among other names.
The new Donald Bradman.
No pressure.
No pressure, mate.
But I looked at the stats of Steve Waugh, Andrew Simons, Shane Watson, Mitch Marsh. They're probably the more modern all-rounders that have made a name for themselves in Australian Test cricket. And the stats are uncanny how similar they are.
Oh, really?
You guys are like, after 28 tests, you have all scored 200s.
Mm-hmm.
The averages and bowling averages goes from 41 to 29. That was Watto. So they're all in that same sort of area. Same with the batting average. I think it goes from 27 Bison up to 41 Andrew Simons. But Watto, you and Steve Waugh are around 36, 35.
By the way, for our younger listeners, Steve Waugh actually bowled a lot.
He bowled
in the first half of his career.
Well,
and he was actually quite quick before he back. I think it was his back gave away and things like that.
So Steve Waugh had taken 41 wickets after 28 Test matches.
Yeah.
You're on 35, Cam. 36.
Lift your game.
35, but you have bowled 200 less overs, fewer overs.
Yeah, he's being managed.
So
He's being managed.
200 need 5 wickets.
You need to get, so if you don't get that,
surely.
something's going on.
Yeah.
But I just, people, they're making comparisons with Cameron about, greats of Australian cricket. At the same age of the careers, I think they're all pretty similar. It just takes a little while to get a hang of Test cricket, right? Like, nobody's really come in and smashed it from the start. And if they have, they get worked out.
Everyone's been dropped.
Yeah.
Is there only one that hasn't been?
Well, Gilchrist didn't get dropped. But,
Gilchrist, yeah. He was on the verge there.
But Bradman did, Clark, Hussey, Ponting, Steve Waugh, all those guys. Yeah.
There you go. Anything follow up to that, or are you just happy to take it on board? You know it already.
I'm just shutting up the haters, mate.
No, it's very cool. Of course, it's obviously so tough playing for Australia, and sometimes it's just not ability; it's being able to put up with external pressures, and there's nothing like walking out to bat in Test cricket. You're so nervous, so which I think correlates to probably my away and home averages. I think I average more away from home, which is probably not a normal stat to home, just the added pressure.
Everyone's got advice, as you find when you're playing Test cricket for Australia, but you sound like you got it down pat. But Ricky Ponting, Sammy chimed in with some advice, and I guess Ricky Ponting's earned the right to hand out advice when he Test cricket is out there.
Well, your dad has a good aspect of your game. They can pinpoint things. I think Ponting is the daddy of all Australian cricketers. And one point he made over the summer, maybe it was this summer or the last summer, about scoring off the back foot in the offside. That's probably the only one shot you didn't really have in your repertoire. Have you worked on that? Is that something you've tried to improve in your game?
Yeah, for sure. And I think, when you play at the whacker, you can just bully down the ground on the front foot. So, it definitely comes with time working on it. But I think being a tall guy, I think that's probably one of my strengths now. So, we'll hopefully try and bring it this summer.
I like that.
And what about leaving the ball? Look, it popped up on social media, and I think it's labelled, "He'll never hear the end of this," and it was, you know where I'm going, don't you? Yeah.
Marnus.
Marnus. Have you ever heard the end of it?
Well, to be fair, if you go the next day, I've hit him for 4 sixes in the in the ODI in the one-day domestic game
in the March Cup game. Yeah.
So
that put an end to it from Marnus?
100%. I needed that.
Yeah.
I knew the consequences after what I did, so I needed that next day to shut him up basically.
Did he say anything after it? On your way off, after play?
Oh, for sure, and he's brought it up. Plenty of times. I've been done a few times leaving on the stumps before, so I'm not uncommon, but it hurts when it's Marnus.
Does he know you bowl 140 and the ball bounces?
I think he loves that about me, so he loves it to fight.
I don't think he is. Because, Cam, you come across as the antithesis of Marnus, who is chatty, is energetic, and you look like you'd be happy to get through a day where you say less than 20 words, chill out. Nothing looks like it phases you. There might be a bit going on behind those eyes there, but I'm not sure. But it's two different characters.
I think it always comes with how you fit in the team. So I'm by far the youngest. So I'll keep to myself until I get a youngster to push it back onto. The balance.
We're going to take a short little spell here with Cameron Green, our special guest. Talk about the IPL in a moment. Cameron's chronic kidney condition is helping out in this regard as well. So we'll delve into that. And, of course, your questions, thanks to the Secret Cricket Club. Cameron Green, our special guest. Now, the IPL is part of your yearly calendar. And why wouldn't it be, the way things are going over there? And you made the great choice, by the way. Good time to get out of Mumbai and go to RCB. I won't delve into that because in case you just get absolutely pizzled with your mentions or DMs from Mumbai Indians fans who are never short of an opinion, are they, Cameron?
Yeah, well, that's what we love about them. I think what they've done to world cricket is obviously you've got to be thankful for. I think they've taken it to a new level, and they'll continue to. Yeah, he had some good teammates though over there, didn't he, Sammy, with RCB? It's the dream, isn't it, to go over there and play for RCB? You've got Virat Kohli, you've got a host of legends who have played there. Chris Gale, Starkey's been there, Trav Head. One I'm interested about is Faf du Plessis. What was it like playing under Faf or playing with Faf, and
How often did he have his shirt off?
Will ripping it off. No, he's a very special cricketer, but also a very special guy. I think, I haven't heard one person say a bad word about him, and it's fact. He's an absolute beauty, and as a captain, obviously, very thoughtful, but at the same time, very level-headed, and just understands that other cricketers can be good on other teams, and you just got to accept the fact. So, and I think we obviously had a tough first month for RCB and pulled it back, and I don't think there's any other captain that would have been able to do that.
Yeah.
What can you take from the legends that you're playing with? And have you got an example of something that you maybe have taken away from a previous edition of an IPL?
Yeah, I've obviously very fortunate being in two very good teams. So for Mumbai, we had Rohit, Sky, Boomer wasn't there, but there's obviously legends in that team. And then you got, Virat Kohli, Fafs in the other team. So, I think takeaways, you can just watching Virat, how perfect he is, can get tough because you're like, God, I just want to do the same. Like, it just looks so easy.
So is this in a net? You see him and it's like...
Yeah, for sure. You're up very close and you ask him a few questions. But at the same time, he's quite a bit different to me, how he goes about it, obviously size-wise. I can't skip down the wicket and smack it like he can. But you can definitely, there's a few things you can take away how he goes about it. And I think, what was very impressive is how he's still trying to learn. So, I think the first half of the tournament, he was obviously scoring a truckload of runs, but probably, not at the strike rate we were hoping for. And then he was so happy to take it on board and be the man to really put the pressure back on from ball one, and then just had this unbelievable, outstanding end to the tournament, striking at 200. So to be able to just turn it on after a conversation is just ridiculous. So
you want me to score fast? Oh, I'll do that.
Sure.
No, easy. Sorry, I didn't know.
Easy. But was he not outward, but was he forthcoming if you had a question, happy to share trade secrets or?
Yeah, which is obviously a credit to him. I think, he would have been copying them for 15 years. So I didn't try and bombard him at all. I tried to give him space and just be as good of a teammate as I could, because I kind of understand to a very lesser extent kind of what he goes through. And to be fair, I can't understand what he goes through. So, the energy that he does give you at certain times, very, very thankful for it.
It's the beauty of the IPL, the melting pot of all the best players in the world. I was over there covering it in 2016, so a little while ago now. And I was watching a net session between RCB and Hyderabad, and in one net was Virat Kohli, and the next net was Kane Williamson.
Oh, yeah.
Two of the greats batting side by side. And they were so good that they had all the little net helpers. They were standing behind the batters in the nets. They were that confident those guys wouldn't miss the balls. They were waiting there and they would just, if they decided to leave one or they cut shot into the back of the neck, they would just throw it back to the bowler.
That's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Not behind mine now.
Yeah, that was my next question. Actually. At what point, you've made it when you've got one of them? Then.
Yeah.
I think so, I might trust him, maybe a flick off the legs, not hitting it too fine, but no. Yeah.
White ball cricket overall. So one days, T20s, crowded schedule. You're just about to jet off to England to play in a series over there, or a couple of series over there. How do you juggle formats, bouncing around? Does it have any effect on you in any way, shape or form?
I think, definitely jumping between formats is a challenge that I'm trying to get more used to. I think, the best in the world, obviously like Davey, Heady, and I think they play the same way. So if you want to play a certain way in Test cricket, it's going to be a challenge. I think, I think it's mainly the contact point I find challenging. Obviously in Test cricket, it's when you want to be under your eyes, but in white ball cricket, you got to collect it in front of you if you want to get under it. So that takes a little while, and hopefully every single time you do it, it gets a little bit easier every time.
What about with the ball as well? And not only bowling, but your excellence as a fielder is, I don't know, we're putting this down to your footy days and reflexes need. I don't know where you played as a footy. People might look at you now as a ruckman when you were growing up playing footy, but you said you weren't that tall. So maybe I'm thinking midfield in here and you've got your hands on the ball a lot. Yeah,
definitely. I give my agility down to that, the fact of playing a lot of AFL. I think, you got to move sideways, so you're in big trouble. So, and full forward or centre half forward I used to love. That was probably more year 11 and 12, but it's definitely ruck rover. Love being in the centre and get as much touch as you can, but just run forward. my defensive running was not so great.
Where do you love fielding and why?
First slip would be ideal.
You don't have to run.
I think,
unfortunately, mate, what you're doing in gully at the moment, or just backward a point.
I need to start dropping a few so I get out of there.
Grassing a couple off the captain before you get it.
Well, it's tough because it's such a great feeling when you obviously take a catch for your team and how happy the team is or the bowler is. So I might just let a few go. I don't know. What's the best way to get out? Just bully someone else? Is that how it works?
Just shit chat.
Or just become captain or become best mates with the keeper and just say, maybe I need him here for my support.
Yeah. I like it.
English in. Get your WA in.
Yeah, exactly. All due respect to Alex Carey, who we love.
Friend of the show.
By the way, speaking of South Australians, Travis Head not happy with you. Because of your height.
No.
Like you were meant to go straight into short leg. Too freaking tall.
He was filthy.
He was absolutely filthy. It's in an interview that's coming up over summer.
That's awesome.
He is off you.
That's awesome.
You happy with that?
Yeah, very happy. I think that's the one benefit of taking them in the gully region. You're not expected to go under. But to be fair, when Matt Renshaw plays, he gets thrown straight in, and we're pretty similar. So
true.
I'll probably, give credit to Hetty. He's doing a very good job and he can enjoy it for a lot longer.
He keeps coming up with reflex runouts, Sammy. He ain't going anywhere.
No. Rennes is a good shit talker, though, so maybe that's why they put him in there.
I think that's the same as Hetty. Yeah. Shit talking.
Okay.
I think he shit talks to us. And then he's dead quiet when he's under short legs. So we got to change that.
Do you say much out there? Just having it all float about?
Not a massive talker. I think, if you talking his shit, you got to be able to back it up. So let's just wait. Tom can back it up.
Just finding your way in that regard. India, great series coming up. It's still a couple of months away, but the focus on the series is going to be great. Does that preparing for it? Does it excite you, or it's no, I'm the type of guy to go methodically about a preparation to get ready for it, and then I'll get excited if good things happen?
No, it does excite you. I think, what you look forward to is a big series. They're obviously, so tough and nerve-wracking when you're in them, but I think that's what brings the best out of you. I think, there's always high expectations when you verse someone like, I don't want to say, but the West Indies, let's say, for example,
sure.
to score big, to have big victories, but at the same time, I think the best you bring out yourself is when you're in the big series versus India, high stakes, and you're versing the best bowlers in the world, which most of the time you try and bring the best of yourself out. So, we're all very excited.
Why not? Your chronic kidney condition. So maybe a few people out there don't know about this. So delve into that for us and how it affects your day-to-day life.
Yeah. I'm one of the lucky ones where it doesn't really affect my day-to-day life. I think, all I have to do is keep my salt and protein to a minimum. And that's, I'm very thankful that's all it has to be. But I think what I'm so passionate about it is that, I'm one of the lucky ones, so I have to now give back. That's kind of how I see it. And, it's absolutely heartbreaking, but at the same time, awesome to go into these hospitals and meet the people that are doing a lot tougher and, put a smile on their face and, know they're not alone.
So this condition you were born with, were you, or was it something developed? Born with. So that means you your kidneys can't process. What is it? Process what comes out of protein and
it's basically
how do you lower salt? Salt's in everything.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it?
Yeah, keep it to a minimum as best you can.
So you're not allergic to it.
No,
that would have been a problem.
I think that's what makes it tough sometimes because you're like, I could have that pepperoni pizza, but it looks very nice, and I won't have any real effects. Just you just know it's not great for your kidneys, and avoid it best you can.
If you see Salt Bay, run the other way.
He's the enemy.
Get out of there, kid.
Well, he is the enemy, actually. He jumped on the field after a football World Cup, and he's like, what are you doing there?
Did he?
Get up. Yeah, he went and got a selfie with Leo Messi. He's like, mate, bomb off, idiot. Sorry, I got diverted there. Back to so how are you helping with others? Because you say that it could be a lot worse for yourself, so you're helping out.
I'm at the very early stage of my ambassadorship with Kidney Health Australia. So I don't want to dive too much into it because I'm trying to learn. So I wouldn't want to get anything wrong, which might affect what people think. So
sure,
I'm trying to learn, but I know there's a few facts about 1.8 million Australians have got kidney disease and don't know it. So, please get checked. We're there to help, and the best way to avoid chronic kidney disease is to catch it early and to slow it down.
How did you get checked? How did you know your parents obviously saw that something wasn't quite right?
Yeah, I was born with a condition that needed to basically get me out a little bit earlier than other babies and get it operated on, and that caused it. So, thankfully, I'm one of the lucky ones that it got caught really early. I could do a lot of things to help it when I was younger, but a lot of people don't know they've got it, and having a lot of protein, having a lot of salt, and really affecting their kidneys. So please get checked. That's probably my role at the moment before I get more information and be able to help in another way.
So in a way, like with cricket, it means you just can't go to absolute town on the Lord's buffet, which I've heard is you've got to be very selective of what goes on there.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Yes, you make the right choice on the menu, but everything on the menu is nice. So it's all good.
Fair enough.
One way you can help it is date someone who's a dietitian. That makes life easier, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it does. It makes it a bit too easy. I just put all my responsibility onto her. So, Emily's been awesome, and I'm sure she will continue to help out. But I need to take some more responsibility and make my own choices, which I'm getting better at.
Cool. Well, look forward to that relationship, how it's going to manifest itself with the Kidney Australia. What was it again? The exact name?
Kidney Health Australia.
Kidney Health Australia. So if you're wondering about it, look it up. It'll be on there, and Cam's helping out in the way that he can, and hopefully that develops over time, that particular relationship. We'll get back to some questions here about cricket, and we've got the Secret Cricket Club questions coming up, but a staple for us here, an absolute staple for us here at Willow Talk is who's the worst to face in the nets?
Ooh, they're all very kind. Because I think I'm part of the bowling group, and if they hurt me, I can't help them. So
look after each other.
Yeah,
I see.
It's definitely a both-way relationship. But in saying that, there's probably Lance Morris who probably doesn't know exactly where they're going compared to Josh Hazelwood, who doesn't miss. So there's a few sorries in there. I'll probably put him down.
Is it like rapid quick?
A few fake sorries as well.
Yeah.
He definitely meant them. But he's rapid and can't wait for him to. Yeah, I don't know when the big boys are going to give him a crack, but I'm sure when he does, he'll make Australia very proud.
What can you bend the back to get it to these days without kind of going beyond your means?
Yeah, I think I'm getting very comfortable around the 130s, and it's very nice on the body. So I need to start cranking it up again. But there's always fond memories of maybe hitting a 140, but we'll try again.
130, that's almost keeper up to the stumps territory, man. You do have a test stumping to your name.
I do, a very famous one that everyone forgets about, and it's always a good trivia question.
No one ever brings up.
No. Can't even think what you're saying. Who was involved there? Anyway, we'll pass on it.
A friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Friends of the show. We've talked about it enough on there, but is it an insult when the keeper decides to come up?
Yeah. Keza did it in India. We were playing in Ahmedabad, and it was an absolute flat wicket. He came up with let's try something, and I bowled a bouncer first ball. Straight through Keza's hands for 4.
147 k's an hour.
Yeah.
Back you go, son.
Yeah, it's a tough one. You try and take it in and let it happen, but it's not a great feeling.
No. Anyway, look forward to see 140 plus this summer. Hopefully.
Get the speed guns up.
Yeah, if you're allowed loads. Don't forget loads from the S&C or whatever they call it these days. Secret Cricket Club, Sam?
Secret
into it?
Cricket Club questions. Dozens of entries. Thank you to those who have sent in questions. If you want to join, go to our Instagram page, Willow Talk Podcast. Little link there. Click on it. Join up. Cam's doing it right now. The first one, he wants to know what they've said about him. Darren says, what's your favourite catch in the slips or gully?
Oh, I've got to put World Test Champ final catching Ajinkya Rahane. It was a partnership that was flying, and I actually dropped one early that day. A very simple one. I had this taping on my hand. I had these hot spots, so I wore it, went straight in, smacked the taping, fell out, ballooned out, and I was like, get this thing off me. So everyone's like, oh, I can't believe you dropped it, but I had that easy, and it just like literally ballooned off this thick padding. So yeah, that came off straight away.
Damien asks, how often do you change your bat, and do you use a different bat for T20?
Yeah, I think you probably keep your number one for Test cricket. I think T20 it's too crazy and too much stress on the bat. So yeah, your best one you probably put away. But yeah, your number two, your training bat that you got up to speed is probably your T20 bat.
Okay.
What's the balance points index of your bats? Do you know that?
Do you know who
Marnus? I think that's a good thing. I'm glad he's found that, so then he doesn't just complain about, oh, this bat feels weird and just in his own head. At least he knows the bat is exactly the same. So
you know you've taken it to a degree where you've come up and figured out your own acronym for an algorithm about the weight of bats. Yeah. So that's Marnus. That's Marnus. Following on from that one, Mal asks, what weight bat do you use?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a scientific thing here, but if you just know off the
top
of your
head. 210, maybe a touch higher. I just get probably the biggest difference. I got a extra long blade bat, so just to help with the swing.
From our earlier questions in do you play basketball? Yeah, the extra long blade. Yeah, so there you go. Next one, Sammy.
210's a log. That's a heavy bat.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think it's spaced out. I think with the longer blade,
the distribution
is better and the balance is better.
For a guy that doesn't eat protein, it's fair effort to lift it up like that. Agnes asks, what is his all-time favourite holiday place? You've just been around the world.
Yeah. No, I've been lucky enough to just been on a holiday. So I absolutely loved Salzburg in Austria. Would recommend. It's luscious, beautiful place, beautiful weather. Would recommend.
Home of your sponsor.
That helps.
Shout out the Red Bull. Exactly. Yeah, the Austrian Alps, eh? Did they have tall doorways there, did they?
Yeah, probably. Where could I go for that?
I reckon Holland, you'd be okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
They're a tall race.
Maybe up in northern Europe, maybe.
They're a tall race. Is that true? Is that scientific?
They're tall people.
I think I'm supposedly from my dad, but from Denmark. Copenhagen, so
up that way.
Maybe taller people from there.
We're fact checking this.
Yeah, please fact check.
The Dutch are tall people.
All right.
Shout out to our Dutch fans out there as well. Keith asks, what's your favourite shot?
Ooh,
they're all cricket
the
ones.
The best feeling is like a straight drive, I'd say.
Yep.
That's when you know that's a proper cricket shot.
It is. Bailey asks, how do you differentiate between healthy nerves and unhelpful nerves? That's a good one.
Yeah, I think it's probably just down to experience. I think just living it and going through it, and you just understand. Yeah, that's not I'm in a bad place here. I need to, really calm down. Or sometimes you're like, no, it's actually a really good thing. You're nervous, but that means you're switched on. So, being able to ride the emotions is probably down to experience.
Before we get to Jess's question, Dutch men are currently the tallest in the world, 184 centimetres. The average. See? That's heaps.
See?
Hey? He knows what he's talking about.
Is it Dutch Netherlands?
Yeah.
What did I say?
Yeah.
No, you said that.
Denmark. Same
Denmark?
region. He said Denmark, but Denmark's just above Germany, which is near Holland, which is in the... I'm
sure they've all come from the same clan.
I'm sure there's a bit of breeding that's crossed borders there and all that.
How tall are the Danes? You want to look that up?
Yeah, there's some tall Danes.
Get the phone back out.
We'll check out the Danes.
Tall dogs in Denmark.
True. Well, I checked that. Jess wants to know, I think we know the answer to this. What sport would you play if you didn't play cricket?
AFL. Absolutely love it. Shout out to the Eagles.
Eagles.
Shout my team out.
They could use your help, mate.
It's been a great couple of years.
It's been tough. But there's light. Harley. I got Harley fever, so Harley Reid fever.
Is that the dude that's on the paper 5 days out of 7 over there?
Yeah. No, we're very happy with him, and hopefully for many more fruitful years.
There's talks of signing him for 10 years.
Yeah.
I'll be very happy to. Yeah,
he's one of them.
Pleasure to watch.
Before we move on, you talked about playing centre half forward, full forward earlier on. What's the number most goals you've kicked in a game?
Kicked 9.
Whew.
9.
Yeah, and I remember getting.
You have a chance at 10?
I got to 9 real quick, by 3/4 time.
Right.
I might have kicked 1 in the last, and couldn't quite get there.
That's like getting out for 99.
But we are looking back at like under 12s or something. Okay. So yeah, not recent at all.
Fair enough. Did you always see, Andy asked this one, did you always see yourself as a bat all-rounder or a bowler like your debut?
Yeah, always a batting all-rounder. Through growing up, always put all the hours into my batting.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, bowling just kind of came natural just through height and probably, athleticism. So
velocity and physics and all of those things.
Yeah, so definitely batting. That's where all my pride is. Yeah.
Fair enough. Who's your favourite commentator from present day and the bygone era?
Ooh,
Dave asks.
Good one.
There's no wrong answers here. You're not gonna make anyone feel bad about themselves. Just someone that you like. Yeah.
I really liked Shane Warne when he was on. I thought his insights were level above everyone else's.
Mm. He could spray a player, Warne. Did he ever spray you?
So thankfully, I didn't cop one.
No.
So
he was nice to you.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he was nice. I'm obviously not listening. So, but when I was enjoying my Test cricket on TV, Warnie, I just love Warnie hopping on.
Are you kidding? Tall, AFL, can hit sixes, blonde. That's who Warnie wanted to be.
That's in the Warne wheelhouse, yeah.
Well, Starkey's very similar, so.
That's a good point.
Good point.
Maybe not.
Michael asks, Cam, what did you learn from sharing a dressing room with Virat? We've already asked that one, and fair enough, and I should have vetted that one before I actually read it out there, Sam. You can take the next one.
That's all right. Just quickly, Danes are quite tall. Not as tall as the Dutch, but they're like 182. So
I haven't actually done my, when you look at the,
family tree?
Yeah, family tree. So, if we go on, what's the
Ancestry.com.
website? Ancestry.com. So if I look it up, maybe it's the Dutch.
Yeah, or the Danes or...
Let us know.
Yeah.
Pop a question into the Secret Cricket Club and say, did you know?
Did you?
I am from...
Not a question. Yeah.
It's not a question, it's just a statement.
Andy asked, different Andy, where did the Bundy Bear nickname come from?
No. First time hearing.
First time I heard it.
Well, Andy said apparently you've been called the Bundy Bear somewhere along the way.
Big hands, maybe good catching.
Blonde,
I don't know.
Big tall,
big white thing that just gets around.
I'm sure there's something along there, but that's the first time.
Do you like rum?
I think everyone enjoys it.
Not everyone, Cameron. Not everyone. And Ben asks, is Mitch Marsh or you a better bowler?
Well, that's the thing. I think we've been trying to palm off that responsibility, the 80 to 90 over mark. 70 to 80 graveyard shift. We're trying to be palming off to each other. So I think we, around the 65th over, we go, geez, Mitch is looking good today. We've been doing it back and forth. So Mitch Marsh.
Good teammate, though.
Great, yeah. Yeah, no, he's a beauty. I think, the best way to describe him is just, I think cricket can be really tough at times, and I think he, really lightens the mood all the time. So, pleasure to play with him.
Actually, great to see them both in the 11.
They found a way, haven't they?
Yeah. There was all that talk, and they play together, and they just two of the 6 best batsmen in the country. Makes it easy.
Sammy, we've got through the sheet, I reckon. We've got anything else in the locker?
Look, I just want to know
any more stats off
Japanese
who's tall
people. No, that's it. Actually, speaking on the bowling, Paddy Cummins said a little bit earlier this month that you guys might be doing a bit more bowling this summer. So
did he just come out and say that, or did he actually run it by you first?
First time hearing it.
Make Trevor's head do it.
Sorry about that. No, Cameron Green, really appreciate you coming in, mate, and thanks for the chat. And good luck this summer. But as Sammy's stats tell us, you won't need much luck. Not much luck will be needed, mate.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Look forward to seeing you progress.
No, thanks so much. It was awesome, guys. Cheers.
That was Willow Talk. Back later in the week. Well, I won't be, but Brad Haddon will be. See us. Yeah, thanks for watching the Willow Talk podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't have to miss an episode wherever you are. And while you're at it, check out these videos up here. They're mostly good.